Today's story comes from the Scottish Geek, and it is about new DM pulls plug on Twitch live stream as player goes full evil.
Oh, I can't wait.
This is
Full evil.
Promising.
All right, here we go. So this happened a few years ago now, and at the time I was absolutely devastated when it happened and horrified by the player's actions. Now I can look back on it and laugh, but also take a valuable lesson away from it. P.S. I'm dyslexic, so sorry for any spelling or grammar mistakes. There will be a TLDR at the end. We may or may not read that. So we're reading the whole story. What do we need a TLDR? It isn't too long. We did read it. Okay, so to give you a little background, I've been playing D&D for about 5 years now, and in 2024 decided to put on my big girl pants and DM for the first time. Good for you. I love it. Not only that, but I'm a full-time streamer, so I wanted to stream the game as well. I held auditions for the players and picked 4 people I knew and trusted. They are as followed: Cleric, a lawful good dragonborn; Fighter, with a thick southern drawl; Ranger, an adorable halfling, hopefully they're good looking enough.
Yeah, hot enough.
With a love for honey; and finally, our problem player, the assassin rogue. Who would have known the assassin rogue would go evil? He's an Aarakocra whose character was loosely based on Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter. Edgy, I know. He picked a bird to be a cannibal? What is he, eating chicken? So we have a session 0, and I tell the players this will be a gothic horror campaign, to expect themes of blood, guts, and gore, with the feel of an old school horror movie. I told them to remember that it was a streamed game, so to go easy on the swearing, remember Twitch's terms of service, and not to go overboard with vivid descriptions. Everyone, apart from the rogue, got the message. Session 1. We go live, and the first 3 hours go well. The adventurers have picked up a lead and have found their way over to the night market where a children's shadow puppet show is taking place. Our adventurers sit in on the show and afterward are invited to make some shadow puppets of their own. Now, what the players didn't know is there was going to be a secret message hidden in one of the puppets, and they would find it leading them to their correct contact. But we never got that far when the incident happened. I don't understand. Shadow puppets are just you make something with your fingers and make a shadow on the wall. How is there a...
Yeah, no, you can also make them put it behind the screen, the silhouettes of them. They are cut out of paper also.
Yeah.
Black silhouettes.
Okay, so silhouettes. All right, that makes more sense. I thought they were talking about casting shadows. So that's when the incident happened. The rogue is sitting next to a little girl, about 6. This is going to be bad, isn't it?
When children around 6 years come into a game, it never ends up well in those horror stories.
The little girl is asking the rogue where he's from and general questions a kid would ask, a species that she's never come into contact with before. She giggles and calls him bird brain. I like it.
My psychic ability kicks in. I can predict that he didn't like what she told. Maybe his mom was having a bird's brain.
I have a bad feeling that this little girl isn't going to last long in this story. The rogue decided to ask the little girl if she would like to fly up with him on top of the shadow puppet's tent to get a better look at the night market. She excitedly says yes, and they go outside. The rogue then tells me he grabs a girl and flies her to his full 60 feet of movement up into the sky to scare her. I told him it works. She's scared and asks you to put her down. To which he replies,
I look her in the eyes and say, this will teach you. And I drop her.
Stunned silence.
I say to him,
okay, you drop her and she begins to fall. Would you like to grab her now? She's learned her lesson.
To which he replies,
I'll start my descent.
Oh shit. Phew, he's going to catch her, we all thought. But then he says,
I'm going to outstretch my arms and pretend to try to grab her, but really, I'm going to let her hit the ground.
how is she supposed to learn her lesson if she is going to meet the ground after falling from a 60 feet height?
I think this is the DM's lesson to learn.
Maybe there was like some kind of sofa on the ground.
Yes.
I think a lot of pillows suddenly appeared. Maybe two workers were carrying something like a pool. At this point, I hit a blank. Like real deer in the headlights moment. Luckily, our cleric speaks up. He asks, is he seen Rogue go out with the girl and if he can see her falling. I ask him to roll a perception check and he rolls. But I do say that people have started pointing towards the sky and are shouting. By this point, my brain was in full meltdown mode. Later, when I talked to a friend of mine who is a great DM, he said I could have just had it that a cart with hay passes under the girl and she falls into that. How about that? Now I feel myself like a great DM, you see?
Yeah, you are. You're unhinged, but you're still a good DM. Yeah.
I came up with that idea as well. But no, my stupid brain went, well, I guess she hits the ground then. The rogue looked happy. The rest of the party were silent. I nearly started crying and just clicked the end stream button on OBS. Why did she go so emotional about that?
I guess she didn't. I mean, she warned them not to go overboard with graphic stuff. The guy just murdered a 6-year-old.
That's not all that graphic.
It wasn't that graphic.
D&D,
it wasn't that graphic, but it's not appropriate for a stream, I don't think. Unless you're doing like a very graphic horror stream. I know they said they were doing horror, but
exactly.
You're going to turn off a lot of watchers if you're going to start killing kids.
Yeah, no, not stuff like that, but still one mistake could be, because this is, she said by herself, it was a dark horror theme.
Yeah, she did.
If we avoid all deaths, children die in movies as well sometimes, so yeah.
I get it. I don't really like it, but I don't think the rogue was that out of line doing what he did. I'm coming after him as the DM. He's going to get arrested. He's going to be hunted.
Yes, consequences.
I will focus on that character until he's in jail or dead.
Jail or dead or without wings. This is gonna be also a miserable life for a bird. Everyone was still in Discord, so I excused myself for a few minutes to compose myself. When I came back, it was chaos. Cleric, who has a young daughter, was going crazy at Rogue. Ranger was still dumbstruck and silent, and Firehead hung up in anger. I pulled Rogue into a private chat and told him what he'd done was completely unacceptable and that I was devastated. I then told him he'd not be coming back for the next episode. He apologized but said,
"You know, I'd never hurt a kid in real life, right? When you said it was a dark gothic horror, I thought it'd be okay. My IRL group does that kind of stuff all the time."
You see, that's what I was talking about. She premised it as a gothic horror story, so he could think that, it could trigger some people, but hey, if it is a gothic horror story, he doesn't cut her arms and stuff, but letting her fly, it is cruel. I wouldn't do that and wouldn't like that. I would, as a DM, would fix that. But still, it is not out of line.
You're in the middle of this night market, right? So why wouldn't some wandering passerby with Featherfall see this kid falling from the sky and just cast Featherfall on them and make them slow down, right? There's got to be other adventurers or magic people wandering around the night market, right? The DM kind of lost it in this moment. So I think they're kind of as responsible for the kid hitting the ground as the rogue was.
And she told that she was devastated. But I think that she feels so devastated also because she is in a blame for this.
You know what I just thought of, and maybe I would have thought of it in the moment too. What if that little 6-year-old girl was a dragon in disguise and just ate the rogue?
Here's my lesson to you.
Very good. Too bad I can fly, and I'm bigger than you.
What about some KFC wings?
After hanging up from Rogue, I checked in with the other 3 players. Fighter was back but was still raging. We all agreed to delete the VOD, because it might have broken TOC, so terms of service, and never to talk about Rogue again. Happy ending though. Since then, I've played and streamed 2 more campaigns with the same players, and we have all become super close, and I'm eternally grateful to them for sticking with me. I've not heard or seen from Rogue. Oh, I forgot to mention, on his character sheet it said he was chaotic neutral. So that's the story about a rogue who was kicked and cancelled for one mistake.
Yeah, there is an edit. We might want to read the edit because it does clear up a few things. I was going to mention a minute ago that this is something they should have discussed thoroughly at the session 0. Like, where are the lines that we shouldn't cross?
So, the edit. I need to clear a few things up. So, I guess that many commenters were on our side as well.
Yeah, I think so.
We did have a session 0, but we didn't have lines and veils in place. We just went over what I expected and what wouldn't be in the campaign. I didn't honestly think I would have needed to tell someone I knew pretty well and who knew me pretty well. Oh, by the way, no child murder. Twitch's terms of service says if you are streaming mature content, it must be marked as so via the Twitch dashboard. My stream was not marked as mature, so if the VOD had been reported, I could have had some reproductions. Plus, the whole thing made me and my community very uncomfortable. We are a very chill, friendly community, and this was not acceptable to me or my community. And it was not... but she didn't tell that to Rogue.
Yeah.
At the same moment. She didn't tell him that, dude, I see what this is going to, so just in case. She could remind him, just in case. Let's not do the stuff like that, let's keep it away, because, you know, there are different tables, the different groups. As I will repeat it again, he didn't cross the line, he didn't do awful things.
Yeah, he didn't do anything graphic. He wasn't like chopping her up or something like that.
Yeah,
He flew her into the air and dropped her. I think it's a dumb move for the player to do that because now you're going to have everybody against you. But I also, as I said earlier, it's very easy for the DM to fix this in the moment. Somebody else saves her, one of the party members overhears all the screaming outside and runs out and makes the save. The cleric comes out and maybe revives them, whatever the case might be. There's many ways to save that kid.
Especially and specifically when after Rogue apologized and said, well, I thought it would be okay, but I see now that it is not. Let's, I don't know, recon or kill my character or whatever I do. I'm just sorry. I didn't
And it sounds like she had already deleted that VOD, so just start over and redo that session and release it later.
But they got so mad.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
They canceled the guy for one mistake. We've seen worse.
Way worse.
But if you liked this horror story and how we read it, let us know about that by giving our video a like.
Absolutely. It's a good story, though. I do like the story. It was a lot to talk about in that one.